Hey, it's Mr. Xirish here with another battle gameplay. Today we're featuring the Battle of England between the forces of the French Empire and the United Kingdom. Leading the forces of the French today is Marshal Michel Ney, and leading the forces of the British today is Arthur Wellesley, or the Duke of Wellington. We are about 100 miles north of London. The main army of London under the command of the Duke of Wellington has left London to attack me. Michel Ney's army in the north. So this will really determine the outcome of England for the most part, because if he wins, he returns to London victorious, and the only army remaining to attack him is Napoleon's army in to the west of London. But the British do have some, I'm assuming, have some backups and reinforcements near London. But if I win, their main army is defeated, and there are two armies closing in to London from both west and the north. So this will be a big part. If you look at my army today, I have about 3 units of artillery, a lot of line infantry, some Imperial Guards, Marines, some Grenadiers from Midi, and some light infantry chasseurs on foot. If you look at the British today, a lot of just normal foot soldiers, some Grenadiers, the 2nd Foot Queen's Royal Regiment, some light cavalry, I believe some artillery howitzers in town. So this is kind of for today's battle, my game plan, I guess, is I'm moving a good portion of my army into these 3 different buildings, a farmhouse, a warehouse, and another house. So I'm moving about four battalions of line infantry into those buildings, and 1 unit of artillery, and 2 units of Imperial Guard Marines. Looks like a little British cavalry attack here. I'm just putting my units in the squares. And so what I'm doing is, as the British did attack me, so obviously they're aggressive in this battle already. They're advancing. So the weaker part of my army, maybe not necessarily the weaker, but the left part of my army is obviously kind of more approaching them. So my artillery, my 8-pounders, are going to be barraging them as they approach. And if they do advance at a higher rate, basically what the goal of this section of the army is to inflict as much damage into them as possible, so that if they do defeat them, when they approach my right half of my army with my 4 battalions of infantry, my Imperial Guards, and the Marines, when they approach them, I'll have extremely powerful, not hurt, not tired part of my army ready for an already tattered and battered British army approaching. So that's basically the plan of the battle. Some light cavalry squadrons attacking my artillery. I was not able to get grape shot really on them before they came, so that's not good. I'm just unfolding my 8-pounders now in front of this kind of mini town, I guess. You can see there's about 4 battalions just alone here advancing. And for cavalry today, I have 4 units of cavalry, some light cavalry, some heavy cavalry, and some more cuirassiers. It is raining as well, so there's a high chance of misfires, or higher chance of misfires during the battle. Bringing up my Marines, just in case, to help lay down some cover and fire in case they start to approach my artillery a little faster than I planned.
We have taken the building, sir.
My chasseurs still holding strong. I can hopefully get a couple rounds of grape shot in before they advance. I'm advancing one unit of like cavalry Mamluks, Imperial Guard. Try to help out. You can see there's already low morale line infantry fusiliers. They're surrendering, but I have some men of my own who are retreating. My chasseurs. Fortunately, they're advancing on my artillery units. But, well, one unit did surrender, so that's good. But you can see this whole part of my army is still holding strong. 150 men, holding 50 men. Still, like, almost no losses, if any. Advancing one more squadron of hussars. Still have 2 units of cavalry in my rear. You can see now they're really charging with their infantry. Bringing a couple of these fusiliers kind of to join the right part of my army, the right wing, because obviously this part I'm kind of getting overrun by British forces, so. Especially my grenadiers. Brought my, it's kind of a dumb decision at the time, but I brought my entire rear cavalry, my heavy squadron of cuirassiers to help in this kind of mesh of British soldiers.
Our men are running, sir.
Good portion of the British units are retreating. And a little bit of what I'm going to do is swing around these 3 or 4 units so that my 8-pounders aren't kind of blocked off. You can see right there they can't fire really hardcore to their left because they're going to hit my own units. So. Then my, I guess you might want to call them my reserves inside these 3 buildings are safe and sound as well. General Michel Ney. Still 30 men. Pistols are drawn. And now, just as I kind of planned, I guess, you can see these about 4 or 5 units of our British forces. They're now going to approach this area with units that I have that are still eager and fresh, as you can see there, and yet not even counting my 4 units I have waiting in these buildings, and 1 unit of artillery placed in a very favorable position, so things are working out for the most part. The only problem is they still have artillery, so since they've advanced their forward position with these 2 cavalry units, I'm going to go ahead and wipe out their let's see, 6-pound horse artillery. found horse artillery, so wipe out their artillery units, and they have some more artillery batteries over there, so I'll be able to take care of their artillery in their rear as a result of their forward advancing. So the Duke of Wellington, or the light dragoons tried to attack, but I just put my units in the square. Ones that I could get in time, so, but they were retreating, so.
Sir, and must rest a while.
It's about 3-4 good units of British forces advancing and really facing my grape shot. That one blast right there wiped out that whole mesh of men, so very good here so far. My cavalry in the rear there, harassing their remaining positions. And even better, some of my units are returning to battle. See some light infantry battalions and some chasseurs on foot. Some charging British forces. They are surrendering, retreating quickly. There's the Duke of Wellington. I'm sorry, pardon me, not the Duke of Wellington. The life guards, they must return from battle. They only have 29 men.
Our men are running, sir.
I don't know who's retreating. Oh, the units in the house here must have been hit by a really good artillery shot, so they're retreating. But I'll take out their artillery in a bit, so that won't happen again to this warehouse per se. Some vol exchange going on here. I have 7 units contributing greatly against, what, 3-4 units of British forces, not even 4 or 3 with these. There's Duke of Wellington in their rear. The Duke of Wellington, Arthur Wesley, future Prime Minister. See the carnage there in front of my volley fire. Those are the Marines of the Imperial Guard. All the remaining British forces, some Royal British Fusiliers, the Duke of Wellington, Horse Artillery Battery, and that is all. As they retreat, they get some covering fire from those Fusiliers that returned to the battle after retreating onset. Marshal Michel Ney is still safe. Not too many units remaining, just the general staff and a little unit of artillery. So I'm going to go ahead and advance my forces in case they get the idea to try to return to battle. Looks like the Duke of Wellington has been injured. Here comes my heavy cavalry to help in the all that remains of these 6-pounder horse artillery. So.
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
You can see my entire army is advancing. These 3 battalions, those 4 battalions. Troops are coming out of the buildings. Looks like they are retreating, so that should bring an end to the battle. And it will, so that is a victory for the French Empire at the Battle of England under the command of Marshal Michel Ney. They had about 200 more men than me, so a pretty even battle. Got unit stats here. Looks like the 2 top units were my 2 cavalry, my 2 artillery units with 330 kills and 220 kills, so the 8-pounder cannons are the battle unit of the day. So if this hopefully will result in the capturing of England and the downfall of the United Kingdom, the only remaining forces, if I do capture England, the heartland, is Gibraltar, I believe, is under British control. So I'm going to plan to give Scotland their independence soon by just kind of giving them some enemy nation and then attacking them, then liberating them. So I can have them as a ally, along with the Irish, and then I'll probably try to get rid of the United Kingdom and never have them return. So, thanks for watching. This is Mr. X Irish. I'll have another video out soon.